Tonight is the second of 4 improv lessons at the Redlands Improv group for the theater group.
Vanessa, right?
Swoosh, bam, and what was it again?
I figured we'd have a light class tonight. People watching the Super Bowl and stuff.
Is it swoosh, bam, and
Whoosh.
whoosh?
Whoosh.
Bam.
And then bam is when you block it. And interstate.
Interstate. God, I'm going to have to repeat that a whole lot to myself.
We'll just wait a couple minutes, see if anybody else shows up, and then
This is Nick. He leads the improv group for the Redlands Footlighters.
For the improv school Redlands.
Okay.
Good stuff.
So how long have you been doing this kind of thing?
I've been doing improv for about 8 years now. I started off kind of doing it random with a buddy of mine and just doing a podcast and whatnot. But then I started wanting to do a little bit more as like an art form and stuff. So I started taking classes at some schools in Los Angeles, like the Groundlings, the Second City, and IO West.
They have Second City in Los Angeles?
Yeah, they do. I think it's shut down now, but it might be coming back. Who knows?
Because that's Chicago.
There's a lot of Chicago transplants of like schools and whatnot that have like ended up in Los Angeles. But the Groundlings is like the only California-based one. So.
Do you have a favorite part of improv that you like the most, or an exercise, or a type of thing that you do?
I love improv for its ability to really get people like out of their comfort zone in a like creative and entertaining way. Like, I think that improv is actually not just for actors or people who want to perform, but for people who also just want to socialize. I think that improv teaches us skills like yes and justifying and relationship and emotion that we can use in our daily lives and really kind of like infuse like everything that we do with a little bit of positivity and knowing that we can work things out in the end when it comes to like social interactions or even just our day-to-day.
Will there be another performance night like there was last month?
Yeah, heck yeah. We're hoping to do at least improv show once a month, if not every other month, and an open mic night, as well as other classes and shows as we keep going.
Open mic night, what is that for? Is that for comedians or soliloquies or music? Or
to be honest, an open mic here, especially anywhere for the most part, is if it's just a microphone and you can come up and just share whatever you want. So if you're a comedian, come up and share some jokes. We also have the ability, if somebody brings a guitar and they want to plug it in and play, then they can play and sing a song too, or maybe even send me a track, I guess. But an open mic is really just what it sounds like. It's a microphone that is open. People sign up for a 5-minute slot, and they get a chance to get in front of people on a microphone and work out their either comedy routine or their whatever they like to do on a microphone.
Okay, super. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next class.
Thank you.
Well, due to the Super Bowl, only another person and I were the only 2 students there tonight. Instead of 12 people, there were just 2 of us. Golly, what is her name? Vanessa or Veronica? It begins with a V. That's all I can remember. And Nick. Nick was the guy leading the lessons, and he's the fellow that I interviewed. I can write his name. I'll put his name down below. Nice fella, the nicest guy you could want to know. And we did various exercises. Whoosh, bam, interstate. It's you go around in a circle, but we're just 3 of us, so get kind of confusing sometimes when we return the other direction and the other direction and the other direction. And their word association one, that's a lot of fun. There's another one where you have an object. Here, I got you. And then you hand an object, an imaginary object, to the person. And they have to receive the object the way that you present it. So if you present something that's very heavy, they receive it as an object that's very heavy. And you say, here, I got you. And then they receive the object and they say, oh! And then they say, it's a teddy bear. Or whatever. And then the first person that handed them the object, the imaginary object, says, yes, now you can cuddle. And it can be anything. It can be something big, it can be something small, heavy. You have to figure out the weight and the space that the object takes up. And you use your imagination and you go with it. We did an exercise where they were sitting in the chair. Basically, it's called bus stop. One person's sitting there and another person comes in with some characteristics. Whether they're old, or they're young, or they're on the phone, or they're carrying a lot of things, or they're worrying about something else, or they're whatever. The first person that was sitting there takes on the same characteristics. Kind of like, like when you're speaking to a lot of people, you kind of go to their level, to their way of doing things to get across any information. So you just kind of become like each other. Once you get the rhythm down, it's a lot easier to do these things. But I had a lot of fun. I love the class. My lower back's been killing me. Hopefully I can sort that out. Because I watched Spencer 3 days this week. Tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Tuesday is Valentine's Day. So Ash and Bri have some plans. So I'll be watching Little Man. Time for me to go to bed so I can get up fresh and early. Or bright and early. I don't know how fresh I'll be. Yeah. I made some fudge today and it was boiling too furiously and it spilled all over. And took the pan off the heat immediately. It took over an hour to clean that off the hot plate. I had to let it cool down and then I had to soak it. Then I had to scrape it with a razor blade. Oh, good God. And then I cleaned everything up and cooked the fudge a little more. I don't think I have it cooked long enough. I don't know. Today was not the best day until improv class. Hopefully it will be better tomorrow. Upward and onward.